Hey, what's up? It is an episode of Metric, the User Experience Design Podcast, and it is I, your host, Michael Schofield. This week is going to be a no-guester, so we are going to keep it short and sweet, but we've got some really good things coming up in May, so be sure that you're subscribed, and let's cue the intro music. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so years ago, I defined a user experience as a metric. I said that the user experience is the measure of your end user's interaction with your organization, its brand, its product, and its services. The user experience is something that can be measured. It is plottable, predictable, a chalky dot on a blackboard that we correlate with numbers that businesses investing in the user experience design care about. I threw my hat in the ring because I was super dissatisfied with the lack of practical application from a definition like UX is about creating delight, on which it is crazy hard to justify the cost of doing user experience design, let alone compelling the C-suite to actually care. So I puzzled together a definition for practical application that also made it clear what user experience design is, as well as having other useful implications like, the holisticness of the user experience. I said, when the user experience is a metric, the reality of its holistic value creates room in our discipline, not just for designers or researchers, but librarians, healthcare professionals, educators, civil servants, and in every vertical where it is true that good user experience is good business. That is to say, all of them. I think it holds up. All of this was originally inspired by an argument made by Jess Leach that the status and impact of a design as a professional field is made less by the absence of a single constant definition. But here she is defining service design. I stumbled over Jess's write-up at the same time I had joined the practical service design community created by Megan Aaron Miller and Eric Flowers, and where I'm super duper proud to be part of an awesome community leadership team, which now, in 2018, is several thousand members strong and has positively pushed the practice of service design forward. Under almost constant debate is this definition of service design, especially with an attempt to disambiguate it from user experience design. And this is often cast as a question of focus, product or service, or of scope. Andrew Wilshire, in a really recent post that came out a couple days ago called Service Design and UX Design, What's the Difference?, said the most fundamental difference between UX design and service design is, therefore, the nature of the design problem that they are trying to solve. Generally, the role of UX designers in a project isn't to step back and design on or an entire service. On the occasions that they do apply their skills to service level problems, they are entering the realms of service design. End quote. But disambiguation, I think, is a disservice too. Budding service designers stumble over methods perfected or problems solved already in the work of user experience design, but often fail to look or cannot otherwise learn from the progress in a discipline from which service design is distinguished. What's more, a question that Andrew raised in his article, is service design user-centered, is a really natural follow-up when we try to disambiguate service and user experience too hard. Obviously, the answer is yeah, but often qualified with something like, yeah, but not just end users. Separating service from user experience design totally underserves the value of the user experience to the act of service design. So I'm going to try to explain service design in the context of the user experience metric. For the record, this is a conversation I've been having for a while. First in the practical service design channels, and then at conferences, starting with a talk that I called Deep Service Design that I'd given in 2017 at Designing for Digital. Okay, so first, let's start on the same page. Let's have some definitions of service design that cover most of the angles. All right, 1. Service design is an emerging field focused on the creation of well-thought-through experiences using a combination of intangible and tangible mediums. This one's from the Copenhagen Institute of Interaction Design from 2008. 2. Service design is a user-centered approach to designing products and services aiming to give the user a unique and memorable experience as well as optimizing business processes. This one's from Amiz Azapor. 3. Service design is a holistic, co-creative, and user-centered approach to understanding customer behavior for the creation or refining of services. This one's from the book Library Service Design by Joe Marquez and Annie Downey. Also, I think Eric Flowers' big picture conceptualization is really useful. He wrote that customers design their experience each and every time. We, service designers, only set the stage in service of the customer's journey. Okay, so here's my definition of user experience as a metric, okay? The user experience is the measure of your end user's interaction with your brand, your products, and your services. This means that user experience design describes the use of tools, techniques, and the creative application of behavioral knowledge about users to improve that metric. Okay, so now the money. Here we go. How to talk about service design and user experience design in the same sentence. In a model where the user experience is a success metric and user experience design describes the use of tools, techniques, and the application of behavioral knowledge to improve that metric, then service design, concerned with the systems that underlie a service as it's performed, determines the potential impact user experience design can have on that score. This means that service designers can design services to improve the user experience and engage in both service and user experience design simultaneously. Service design is the practice, and the user experience is one of the metrics. Bam. Cool, I hope you dug that. If you want to help support Metric, the best way to do it is to like, star, heart, favorite in your podcatcher of choice. If you want to leave a nice 5-star review, that actually helps a ton because it means that the podcast is going to get in front of people. Also, there's a bunch of publications that always run like the best UX podcasts to listen to, and Metric is never on it because I'm pretty sure that Metric just doesn't cross their path. If it did, then I feel really strongly that it would be up there. Also, if you want to help support the making of Metric, like podcast hosting services and the cost of transcripts, because wow, transcription is a doozy. I have a Patreon at patreon.com/Michael Schofield. There's raffles, early access to Metric, webinars, it kind of supports all of the free content I make, and I make a little bit of not free content too. We are under 10 minutes, and I think that's awesome. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.